let's talk about music in general, man. Let's talk about fucking today's music. Or fuck that. Let's go back. Shy, you wanted to cover something.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just go into it.
Yeah, let's go into it.
I feel like a lot of people today, it's right down the middle. Like hip hop is polarizing. Some people feel that hip hop should sound a certain way,
right.
And then the other half are cool with whatever's going on right now.
Right.
And I'm here to say that the people that feel that hip hop should sound a certain way, those guys are out of their fucking minds. Because if they wanted hip hop to sound a certain way, it would sound like a hop, a hippity hop, right?
Yeah,
like
don't stop, rock it to the bang, bang, boogie, and up chuck the boogie.
I think hip hop should, like, what hip hop is it evolves, you know?
Right.
Like the breakdancing evolved into like how people dance today, you know?
Right.
Like graffiti turned into street art in Los Angeles.
Right.
And then hip hop sounds the way it sounds today because it's just part of evolution, you know, in music. And I don't think there's really anything wrong with the way it sounds, you know? I like how it sounds.
No, would you consider yourself a hip hop purist?
Me, no.
How long have you been listening to hip hop?
Since I was like in 3rd grade.
Okay, so that's fucking a long time, right? So you've gone through a lot of phases, generations, and things like that of hip hop.
Yeah.
So earlier we talked about fucking Kodak Black, and you said that you don't listen to his music or anything like that, right?
Right.
So your type of music would be more of who that you like?
Drake.
Oh yeah,
And that's
ShyPlyr is a big Drake.
and that's why I gave up my hip hop head, title, dude. Because like I like everything, dude.
Right.
But to me, it's just all about how it sounds. And one thing that people get confused with is that music is subjective, dude.
Right.
Everybody, like somebody could put on a tune, you could like it, I could hate it, you could like it, and we put on another one, I like it, he likes it, and you hate it. Like you never know. You know what I mean? Like it's all up to the listener.
Right.
And then I think people get confused in hip hop. They think that it should sound a certain way. And
why do you think they're entitled that way?
I think they love the '90s generation, and they're stuck on it. They think that hip hop sounds like boom bap, but that's just a period of time in hip hop, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I feel like what happens is people like to, I think consciously and subconsciously, they like to, because that was their like golden years of them growing up. Yeah. They like to stick to that, and it's like, no, this is what it is.
I had all these good experiences to this soundtrack.
Right. Someone I consider like that, and shout out to fucking Manny. I consider your brother like that. Your brother is someone who slowly,
like especially with his wife right now, listening to like the new stuff. He's like, he doesn't like everything, but he gives stuff a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, which a lot of people don't. No, people are like, nope, not even gonna listen to it.
Right. Manny to me is like a rap elitist. Like if it doesn't sound like boom bap, if it doesn't sound like fucking 90s or whatever, he's not fucking with it. And it's like, I know that because I'm like, I've tried to get him into rappers before even I fucking rapped, right? And I was just like, listen to this person. He'll be like, no.
Yeah, he does say, like, because I've heard him say this, he's like, I understand why people like it, it's just not for me.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right, and I feel like that's something that really does hinder hip-hop because it's not like every other music genre. Like rock, people grow with rock. You know, when rock was like the fucking, that 70s period, which I guess was like, the Iron Maiden era and all that shit, right?
Oh, okay,
it was like
heavy
all that shit, right? And then it went to the 80s, and 80s like what, hair metal and shit,
like glam,
like right?
All that shit.
And then 90s was punk rock.
Yeah, punk, grunge, all that.
Yeah, my bad, grunge, yeah. It was grunge and the Kurt Cobains and shit. And then I think mid-90s, do we have like the kind of like pop rock start?
Alternative.
Yeah.
Right. So at no point, I mean, there's always going to be like a number of people who will be like, fuck this or whatever. This isn't what we grew up on or whatever, right? Which is fine. But I feel like it constantly just grew. Like they just moved on with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's something in hip hop they don't do, and I never understand that. And which it keeps us so divided because, like, I was a person, I consider myself at a point really a hip hop elitist too. I fucking hated Kanye's 808s and Heartbreak. I hated that shit.
The concept or the sound of
everything, like the concept, but I never really listened to it. Right? It wasn't until fucking 2014 that I was getting into Drake.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't like Drake either. Right?
Yeah.
I was getting into Drake, and I was like, shit, man. One of my favorite Drake songs is fucking, at least early on, was fucking Find Your Love.
Yeah.
That's a Kanye beat, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, people were like, well, that kind of sounds like 808s. And I was just like, all right, let me go back to it. I'm proud to say I love 808s and Heartbreaks too. Like, that is my shit.
That molded Drake's first that mixtape, you know,
Right.
So Far Gone. It's the same sound. It's the same like genre kind of.
Right, and then it's crazy how people hate on that album, or at least when it came out, they hated on it. But 808s, anything you like from fucking like 2008 to like 2011 or whatever, 12, that was the sound.
Yeah.
He created the sound, or Kid Cudi created the sound, or whoever you want to give credit to.
Yeah.
They both did whatever. They created the sound, and then they pushed it out, and Kanye took the fucking leap and was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically make fucking weird, singy, emo rap, and it's going to work.
Yeah.
And it worked. And, like, I feel like with people pushing the culture forward, people like Kanye made it easy for people in this culture to be like, okay, people who like hip hop also have feelings. Because if you go back to those previous generations, wasn't like, which is crazy because the 80s, it was a lot of feeling to it. You know, it was still like, you know, hip hop, but it was like they were talking about like shit that was painful, right? But they just put a cool beat over it. The 90s when we got super hard and everyone was fucking super tough guys, and it was like, we don't do nothing. Yeah, we don't do none of that sucker shit and everything. I love that era, right? But I grew up with that era, right? So I get it. But then when 2000s hit, it was like now everyone's super tough, right? Yeah. And it was like a bunch of like, basically, we had fucking, which, I mean, I consider him a 2000s artist, but he came out in the 90s. Like, DMX was super fucking hot. And then from DMX, we had fucking 50. From 50, we had Game, all these people. It's just like, it's a constant stream of like thugs or whatever, right?
So like, here's the new tough guy.
Huh?
He was like the new main tough guy.
Right. Yeah. Everyone had to be tough. Everyone had to fucking shoot a whole bunch of people, sell a whole bunch of crack, do all this shit, right? And then it got into like mid-2000s where it was fucking like the South came. And it was all ringtone-y and shit. And everyone was like, okay, now this is where it's kind of weird and everything. But to me, going back to it, I was trying not to like it. I really was, right? I was like, nah, I ain't fucking doing all them dances and shit.
I feel like everyone goes through those phases.
Yeah. Huh?
Everyone goes through the phases of like, nah, that's not.
Right.
Like, that's not the music I like.
And then it's funny because you try to do that, but then girls.
That and that one song that you just happen to hear.
Right. But to me, I feel like the people who actually push hip-hop culture the most is women. Like, because you're going to like whatever girl you're chasing is going to like to get her attention, to fucking be around her. You're going to have to tolerate some shit. All right? Period. So the girls like fucking Laffy Taffy. You better start liking it. You know what I mean? Like, the girls fucking like, they like, what the fuck? Lean with a rock with it. You better start fucking liking that shit, or at least better fucking know how to do the dance or something, right? And then, like, you fast forward to now we get into, like the late 2000s, like fucking 08, 09 and shit. Now we have this mixture of aggressive hip-hop over, like, dance-type beats. So you get, like, the Waka Flockas, the OJ the Juice Man and shit like that, where it's like, these dudes are all energy. There is not a lot of lyricism at all. It's all energy, and the beats are hard. But they're really also dance beats, right? And people are just going in, and they're going in, and it's like, what the fuck? Now it's like, it's mixing shit, because now you got niggas who fucking are legit thugs. Niggas who are fucking, and shot like 20 people in the club fucking dancing to this shit. You're like, what the fuck has happened? But if you stay in that era where it was like, nah, this ain't it, you're not going to grow, which is why a whole bunch of artists from those eras usually fall off.
Yeah.
Because they fucking refuse to, you know,
evolve
with the times. Like, and it sucks because I feel like there's a whole bunch of dope. Like, I would love to hear fucking DMX on like a fucking Metro Boomin beat. At least fucking attempt it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
wonder why they don't try that, huh?
Right, because it's like, and it's funny because people always talk about like Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's like, everyone's like, man, he's so dope. He's lasted the test of time. Like, he's lasted because he evolved. Mm-hmm. Like, if Jay-Z would have constantly been like, all right, I'm just going to use Just Blaze, I'm going to use Kanye, and that's it. Mm-hmm. He would have fell off. Because people would have got tired of the sound. They get tired of the sound. What people like is like, you don't give them like, that's why, like, I love 50, right? But that's why 50 musically fell off, because 50 was still doing the same shit. It wasn't until like he had like a little resurgence when he started doing more South shit. But you can't give us the same shit that you've been giving us for like 10 plus years and then expect us to still fuck with it, because that, you know, look, 50's a billionaire. He's not shooting anyone.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I mean? He's just not. He's not doing that shit. Fucking who else? Like DMX, like he's not the get at me dog nigga no more, man. Like it's like we've seen him like preach and everything. Fucking Snoop's not catching any murder cases anytime soon, right? And that's the thing where it just sucks because I feel like people end up, they get diss the new shit that's out, and it's not to be dissed to me. This is my opinion.
They just because they're in that bubble of that world of like where everyone's saying the same thing that they're saying. So they think by like, oh, I'm gonna say this publicly, I'm gonna be looked at as like that cool motherfucker of like bringing this shit back. Mm. But if they were just to like go outside their boat for a second or something, they would realize like, oh no, like we're the niche ones now.
Right.
You know?
And like I personally, I'll stick to this or whatever. I don't like that album, but a lot of people love it or whatever. I hate fucking To Pimp a Butterfly. I hate that shit.
I didn't like it either.
Like
it didn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good at all. Like, and I get like messaging, lyricism, great album, but sonically, 2 times I fucking listen to that shit.
Yeah, me too.
2 times. Like, and I was just like, I loved All Right. I loved a couple other songs on there, but for a whole album, I'm like, it's not.
And he knows it too. That's why none of the stuff on his latest album sounded like that. You know.
Exactly. So I'm like, if you see your artist being able to be like, all right, I'm gonna take a chance, I'm gonna do this, but then once it, if it doesn't work or doesn't work, I'm gonna still appeal to not really appeal, but I'm gonna evolve with the sound and everything like that, and still give you the same message. That's why to me, Damn is such a fucking classic because it's legit the same messaging. It's like To Pimp a Butterfly is like the fucking. You want to fucking read the dictionary version of it? Read the shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Like Damn is like, all right, here's the fucking Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Over some dope music and everything, and we all get it. That's the type of shit where I feel like.
But see, I think his type is rare because take the music thing out of it. Just as people, like how often do you see people evolving? Like how often do you just see people doing the same thing over and over again, no matter what situation they're in? They're just gonna keep doing living the same cycle and never getting out of where they were born, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know honestly because I remember Shy when we worked together. You were pushing Joey Badass's album really hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I listened to it. I was like, this shit is dope, whatever. But Joey Badass is one of those artists who he is a newer artist, but his sound is old.
Yeah.
Like his flow, everything is old. Even his group, fucking Pro Era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like his whole clique, they're all like older. Their sound is old. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something to me where I feel like we need to evolve because I find it cool that now there are people who are young that liked the old shit. They can now make it doing the old type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like if we just constantly have these weird little beefs and being like, nah, it's not real hip hop. That's not. I'm like, what the fuck is real hip hop?
You can't define it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's been done anyway. Like, fucking the people, like, I liked fucking Big Daddy Kane. That was way before my era, but he's fucking hard as fuck to me. Big Daddy Kane he danced. Like, come on, man. Like, this nigga danced. Like, but he had bars, but he danced. Like, that's the shit I don't understand. Like, fucking, I don't get how, like, people put, like, Kane in their top 5, which they should, or whatever, which is fine if you do, right? That nigga had full dance fucking skits in his songs, all that shit. I mean, videos and all that shit, right?
Like breakdancing?
All that shit. Like, full, like, like the R&B niggas, like,
like
fucking
that.
all this type of shit, right? And I find it funny that fast forward, Drake does Hotline Bling, has a whole part in the video where he's dancing. Everyone fucking jokes and be like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not doing it. I'm like,
exactly.
It's the same shit.
That's a perfect example, dude.
Like, it's the same exact shit. I don't see what's wrong with that. And to me, I'm like, nigga, I watched that video, I was like, look, I want to do the dances. I don't care, man. Like, it looks hard. I fucking want to do all this shit with the phone and all. Like, what's wrong with that? Especially, again, if you're in an environment with women, they're not going to be like, look at this nigga. This nigga looks stupid. They're going to be like, oh, shit. Like, I don't get, like, it's the weirdest shit.
I know, imagine if rockers were like, bring that real rock back, bro. Which one, bro?
What era? I can play it all. Which one? What do you want?
For real.
Like, and also I think something that, like, hinders a lot of hip-hop heads and keeps us all divided is, like, they don't want to embrace new ways of doing shit. Like, to me, Like I love Andre 3000, right? Andre 3000 is, to me, he was the first artist who did the rapping and singing. Like, I guess he was like the best one at it, right? I'll throw Most Def in there too.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
But Most Def,
What about Lauryn Hill?
see, that's because Lauryn Hill started as a singer.
Yeah.
That's
She threw in a little bit of hip hop or rap, but
right, but she had bars. Like Lauryn Hill can rap. Like, but she started as a singer. Like we didn't know until
she didn't come out the gate doing both.
right until the Fugees popped off, and then she was rapping too, which was cool. I would say I would give it, honestly. I'll give it to fucking 3 Stacks. Right, 3 Stacks was the first weird nigga rapper. I feel like he was the first like weirdo, and then if you remember in that era, no one called him a weirdo. We were just like, that nigga's hard. But now, if he came out today, he's a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to embrace that.
Why would it be a weirdo today though?
Because anyone who has that type of style, that type of sound, they consider them weirdos. Like, it's thrown under the same category as like drug rap. Because drug rap people who aren't Future, which is like the coolest one I guess you can do. By drug rap, I don't mean like niggas who like sell. I mean, I talk about niggas who actually do them. Like Future, fucking, who else is a drug rapper?
Like Lil Xan, all that.
I don't think them niggas be doing that, honestly.
You don't think it's an act?
Yeah, that's a super act.
I think so, dude.
Super act. Like, them niggas don't be doing that. Even Future was one of the persons, he admitted it. He was like, I did do lean. He's like, I haven't done lean in years, though. Like, I'm just still... He's like, this is what people like. Which I...
Like, who even... Like, have you ever met anybody that's like, oh, yeah, this week I'm going to go do some lean?
No.
Like, I don't know anybody.
No. Like, but then that's something, again, going back to conspiracy theories and narratives and shit. That's something I feel like we definitely pushed on the people. Going back to what I was saying about the whole just making things social media rise and being like, everyone does lean. Like, I've never seen one person. Like, in the hood, I heard one nigga talk about... He had the Sprite, and he was like, whatever, and I was just like, oh, this is, like, happening? Like,
he had the Sprite, but he couldn't find the lean.
Who got it? Who got
It's
the
hard to
lean?
get, dude. That
It's
shit's
super hard to
hard to
get.
get.
Like, is
Like,
it just prescription cough medicine?
Yeah, but
it's
like,
promethazine with codeine. It's a
bad.
controlled
Okay.
substance. I've seen people try to get it when I used to work at Walgreens or whatever, but it's super hard. Like, they know. You know what I mean? Like, you might get a bottle from one prescription, but you can't come back. Like, that shit is heavily regulated. Like, it was regulated back then, but now it's probably even worse.
yeah.
And for those who don't know, Dwayne is a legit pharmacist.
Wait.
Hey, he knows his shit. So
Don't ask me any questions.
yeah,
I don't care about your health.
he doesn't. I'm just saying. He knows what he's talking about.
But, I just feel like it's weird now that you have someone like... I love Young Thug. I think Young Thug should be way bigger than what he is. Because Young Thug... he has, I think, one of the most unique sounds. Because no one sounds like him. No one. Like, no one can do that high-pitched shit. No one can do that mumble shit and make it make sense. And the thing about him, he also raps. Like, if you listen to him, he's saying a lot of, like, dope-ass shit. But even, like, I feel like, and this is just me going out on a limb. People don't have to believe me. But I feel like Kendrick kind of stole some of Young Thug shit. Where, like, when he does, like, the little high-pitched shit, and he's doing, like, the little voices and shit. That's Young Thug to me.
I'm sure.
Like
maybe let's give him Kendrick the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it just was like he also liked Young Thug and how it sounded, and he was just like it just started happening. Like in his head, like
that's
you
fine.
Like the sound.
That's fine because to me, if you go back to like R&B and shit or whatever, right? Fucking Prince and his fucking like high pitched squeals and screams and shit. That's hard to me, like, you know what I mean? But it's like we don't want to embrace it in hip hop, and I don't understand that because like I've been listening to fucking Anderson Paak's new album or whatever.
Okay.
That shit is dope as fuck. It's super like eclectic. It's like a whole bunch of different type of music. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's one of those people too, super dope, but because he's considered probably a weirdo, not gonna go anywhere. Yeah. You know, well he's somewhere, but he's not gonna be as big as he should be.
Right, because he's just a little too weird.
Right.
Yeah. But I think it's one of those things like people. Confident, creative people, they will take a risk with their craft and just push what they feel inside, not just the carbon copy of what else is going on. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like for you, like doing with your music, you feel like you're pushing creatively, right?
Right. Well, also for me, I like making the shit that I like to make.
Right. You're doing what's in your soul.
Right,
basically.
right. And I know with Shy, I feel like it's the same thing. You make what you want to make.
Yeah, dude. Because before I was like, I was headstrong on like, oh, dude, I want to make it as an artist,
Right.
But like once I started putting that to the side and like, I'm just gonna go in there and have fun, dude. Then whatever comes out, right?
Right. And that's something where I feel like a lot of these artists that people hate on, they are actually pushing that. I don't fucking get how someone like a Young Thug can go in the studio and you can get like his hooks,
Right.
because that takes a lot of balls.
And I think that's part of why they make it, because people either consciously or subconsciously could feel that shit, like, oh, this dude's being authentic as fuck, and like I appreciate that, so I'm gonna keep pushing it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And
then on the flip side, I feel like one of my favorite fucking groups, artists today. I don't know if you guys know fucking that whole Griselda team and fucking Conway, Westside Gun or whatever, but they're all signed to Shady. Them niggas is hard, right? But it's literally like if Wu-Tang came back, but they was even like rougher. Like, like they was like way more fucking, like it wasn't like take out all like the funny Wu-Tang shit and like the karate shit and just add a whole bunch of cocaine and guns. That's Griselda to me. And all them niggas is hard, right? If you like that type of hip hop, it's there. And they're not trying to be like, fuck these new niggas or whatever. They're like, I make this.
Yeah.
I'm cool with doing this or whatever. I don't need no other type of shit. I don't need no fucking whatever. If you like me for me, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's fine or whatever, right? I feel like that's where it needs to go. Yeah. I like where hip hop is right now because like there's pockets of shit.
There's all kinds of stuff.
There's all kinds of stuff. If you like a Young Thug, there's a whole bunch of people who either sound like him or try to sound like him or kind of make similar music to him. So you can go in that pocket. Yeah. It's fine. I don't feel like because you like one thing I know, Shy, I don't know if you liked fucking because today I was listening to that shit. I wanted to go back and listen to it because I was bored honestly, but fucking Future and Drake, What a Time to Be Alive.
I didn't really get into it.
Right. And that album I feel like is always super debated when it comes to Drake fans because people either love it or hate it. And it's like if you didn't start with Drake, you hate that album because it's like it's not Drake. It's Drake trying to be Future.
Yeah.
If you didn't start with Drake, that album's dope as fuck because it's like holy shit. It's like they're mixing two sounds or whatever, right? And that's something that to me, I went re-listen to it. I was like, you know what? Some of these songs age like shit. Some of these songs are actually still dope. You know what I mean? So, but it's subjective, of course. Like for me, I like fucking Digital Dash, right? But I fucking don't like whatever fucking Future songs in that fucking project. Like that shit is stupid. But it's like, but I like it starts off with like fucking that, but then it ends with fucking 30 for 30. And that's just like Drake being Drake, which is bars, lyrical, him getting to his feelings and shit. If you like, it's on that album, but people just refuse to go to it because they just don't want to listen to that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and that's where I kind of just want to get away from when it comes to hip hop because let's just say we have to go back to like those type of albums where it's like niggas you don't think will happen because Drake and Future was gonna happen, right? I want to hear fucking Drake and let's just say who's someone super out there. Can you think of anyone out there that you want to hear Drake with or something?
Logic.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
And for me,
I could see that meshing though.
Really,
I think so.
Because I think Logic is to the point where he's like super lyrical, right? And then Drake is lyrical, but he also makes a way more radio friendly. Well,
Logic right, that's what I'm saying. So like if they're creating a song together, it's gonna kind of like balance each other out.
See, but then at that point, it's whose world do you want to go in? Do you want to see in Drake and Logic's world or Logic and Drake's world?
They'll probably do two songs, and that's what people do now. They'll just do like, they'll do that. They'll do two songs. One more of like Logic. It's Logic featuring Drake. The other one's gonna be Drake featuring Logic.
Right. But I'm saying if no choice.
No
choice. I mean,
who's ever bigger? Whoever has a bigger fan base, because wherever the crossover is, you want that bigger fan base to really push it to them.
See, if that's the case, then Drake's fan base now knows new Drake. So it's kind of, they know trappy Drake. So then you're saying you would want Logic to be trappy.
Yeah, if you could mix, yeah.
Do you feel like you could do it?
I think there's some songs where you could kind of see it. I think he could pull it off.
See,
he's versatile,
Right.
He could do a lot of things, dude.
And that's somewhere where I feel like it'd be interesting to see. Like I miss that type of shit. I miss like looking at albums, be like, oh shit, this person's on this shit. All right, I want to hear this shit or whatever, right? Because I don't feel like it's like that anymore. It's like you get the same shit that you know is gonna work.
Right.
Yeah.
You know Travis and Drake is gonna work.
It's also like it's a risk for people too. Like M featuring Ed Sheeran. That shit. Everyone remember when that list came out? Everyone was like, like what the fuck is this?
Or
Oh,
the
no.
Beyonce one?
Yeah,
Damn.
exactly.
Well,
People were like,
that shit was trash.
Exactly. So it was just like, and that's why people don't though.
Where are the drums? Where are the drums?
But that's exactly why people don't do that.
And I,
Like, nah.
I fucking love M, but it's fucking that was. I remember when that shit came out. We both listened to it at work.
I was excited. I was like, okay, this could be good. And then I was like, fuck that.
And then you just hear Beyonce's beautiful ass voice. And you hear, I just think that it's a thing with a finger. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
How could you be so good and then become so bad? That's what I don't get.
I don't know, but I feel like he's one of those people too. He's one of those people who he's an elitist. So he's gotten so technical with his shit that it's like that now. It's literally like, okay,
But he wasn't like that.
I know he was these kids.
Yeah, he could like
Yeah, he was
swing
that
on
shock.
beat, you know?
Right.
Not like do. Like nobody wants to.
I think he
hear that.
got stuck in like some kind of weird creative.
Window pane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't want to hear you like screaming. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Go get my ball and chain. Like, nigga, shut up.
Like who's listening? You're like, yeah.
Oh shit, ball and chain. It hurts me because I like Mark knows and everything. Like I like that is he was literally my GOAT for like ever. I was just like, I don't see how. To me, I was like, his first 3 albums, like, I don't know what's better than this. Like, I really don't. Like, he went from like weird nigga to I'm lyrical to I'm political, and it all worked. Like, and I was just like, this, I don't get it. And then you hear him now, you're like, what the fuck is, like, what happened? What happened? But that's why I feel like he refused to move along and age with the fucking sound.
Yep. And then what happened when he came back with his Kamikaze one?
Kamikaze shit, it's way more listen. Like you can listen to it more.
That's what I mean.
kinda like
He's
it.
embracing it,
Yeah.
so now it's.
But that's just something I'm like, why'd you wait so long? Like why? Because look, rap is not like rock in that form. It's not like you can't like cause fucking who's a fucking the Rolling Stones? They can fucking release an album tomorrow. It's gonna sell. Cause people cause like rock people, they'll continue.
It'll sell, but it won't be like huge or anything. It'll just be like. Oh,
I think
cool,
it'll be
man.
huge.
I don't think so.
really do. Like, cause fucking like U2 is huge. What the fuck?
I don't know who listens to U2. I've not met one
Me
person
neither.
ever in my life.
My mom did.
Yeah.
She did. I'm not lying. We go to the concerts, like fuck yeah, I'm going to YouTube.
yeah.
In the front row.
But like that's why I like, you know what I mean? Cause you can't make the Marshall Mathers LP2 and try to make it sound like the first one. It's like we heard that.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna go there, you can go there again, but like, you know, make it okay, this is fucking the new version, but let me use new production. Let me use today's people to get my he just tried to do the same thing over like weird beats. And it's like no. And then like but I feel like that's what happens. Like people like Jay-Z are like, okay, what's cool? All right, people like Future. I can do that shit. Let me go grab Future. I'm gonna go do it. Makes hits. But of course, also you run into the risk of if you're a Jay-Z, because like I think him like the first couple songs he made with Future, like they were dope. Then that last one he made with Future and Beyonce, that shit was ass. Whatever that fucking shit was, it was another another DJ Khaled song. That was terrible. But they tried to because it was working. They're like, yeah, let's keep doing it. And it's like, nah, man, we don't need.
It's got too much.
Too much. Like too much. But
can you name one artist that just kept doing the sound that they debuted with and just kept making it? Dive deep into your knowledge banks.
That's a good question because I can't think of one.
You know, because I think the reason the Beatles is known as like the greatest fucking band in the world is because they were the first ones to like really evolve with the decades. Mm-hmm. Like they came out in the 50s with their like, you know, that 50s, I don't know what's called, that 50s love sound. And in the 60s they were all psychedelic and like all love, blah, 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 hippie shit. 70s, I guess another form of that. but they just kept doing it until eventually, you know, they broke up or whatever. But so I think that's why they're still known as like, or regarded as the best band in the world. And then people just kept copying that, or the good people at least kept copying that.
Yeah, like Madonna, she had her phases.
Yeah.
No, you have to do it.